Hi, hi, we're in Peaslee Wildlife Management Area in Cumberland County, New Jersey. We're here with founder of the New Jersey Quail Project, Joseph Matter, and we're going to ask him a few questions about the project.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, Joe.
How are you? Good to have you down here with us.
So, what is the history of the wild quail in New Jersey? Please bring us to the present day.
Well, the history of the wild bobwhite in New Jersey is a good one. It's a long time prize game bird here in South Jersey. At one time when I was your age and probably a bit younger, which has been a long time ago, we had more bobwhite quail running through New Jersey wild than you could ever imagine. I mean, Texas had nothing on us. When it come to wild bobwhite, boy, we had them, and they were very plentiful. However, over the years, neglect of the habitat, changes in farming practices, a lot of out of control development, and some really restrictive, what I would call preservation attitudes from different organizations in the state have curtailed any significant conservation means. And as a result of that, we're winding up today with a very diminished quail population, as well as with ruffed grouse.
It's a big problem.
It's a terrible problem. As a matter of fact, in 1967, the National Audubon Society initiated a study through the total quail range of the United States. At that time, it was estimated that the wild quail population nationwide numbered around 45 million birds. 40 years later, as the study concluded, what it revealed was in 2007, that number had declined by about 83%, and there was only about 4 to 5 million wild birds remaining. So that's why we got a real crisis on our hands. We're at the crossroads, especially here in New Jersey, where if something isn't done soon, then we're going to stand by and watch a systematic extinction of a bird that should have never occurred. I mean, somebody's got to take the reins, and that's what we're all about, and that's what we're here for.
Please tell me about some of the New Jersey Quail Project's initiatives.
Well, some of the initiatives that we've had were, number one, to address the problem and bring it to light that, you know, despite the idea that the quail is so small, not quite as big of a fundraiser as the white-tailed deer or the wild turkey that was recently reintroduced. This is a prized bird, and we have a heritage here and a way of life that kind of revolved around this bird for many years. So what we've tried to do is bring about an awareness as to the plight these birds are facing and how traumatic the situation is. We're kind of at the crossroads right now. Back in 2008, it was determined by our scientists, so they say, that our populations were down around 2,800 birds. Well, last year in 2009 and in 2010, we've had some really horrific snowfalls. And you take that with the lack of habitat and the horrific rate of predation that we're facing, our bird numbers, last estimates, were around 1,000. So it puts us at a spot where if we don't respond immediately, there's no more time to waste, we're going to lose this bird. And that's not going to be laid at our feet. You know, the other powers to be who have allowed this to happen are going to have to be accountable. We're doing what we can. So that's our initiatives, is awareness, education, and hands-on, get out on the ground and, you know, do something and face the problem. Don't dodge the bullet.
What is your vision for the Quail Project, and where do you see the quail population in about 5 years?
My vision for the Quail Project is, first of all, back in 2008, I was fortunate enough to represent the project at a National Bobwhite Conservation Initiative conference that was held down in Columbia, South Carolina. At that time, I went down there with one intention, and that was to bring the awareness of what we're facing here in New Jersey to a national level. And then I was successful. I was able to do that. And I made some very good acquaintances down there. We connected with the Dr. Palmer out of the Tall Timbers Research Center in Tallahassee, Florida, along with Dr. Mackenzie, who come out of Auburn University. Some of them actually traveled back to New Jersey when they found out what we really had as resources here, and were astounded when they got their boots on the ground and could see that it's not just football stadiums and industries and stank and, you know, all that stuff they got up north. It's another land down here. So when those boys came on back and took a look, they were kind of shocked. We use them for a lot of technical support, and what we're trying to do is to get them to work closely with us, as we've already managed to have a good working relationship with the University of Delaware and Dr. Chris Williams over there, and get the project to move forward at a faster rate. Now, my vision is keep plugging away, bring more people into the fold, take on those folks and expose the ones that have not done their job. They all knew that this was happening. There are people in this state that were charged with the stewardship of the wildlife. Obviously, you can see by the numbers of quail that are remaining, they've neglected and overlooked it. So, you know, I'm sure there's going to be some that don't view my attitudes too happy. However, you know, if this is what you've done, then you got to stand there and be accountable for it. And you know, we're trying to run on a shoestring to save an entire species, and this didn't happen just yesterday, man. You've had 30 years of neglect to get us where we are today. So hopefully within 5 years, we're going to use some of our methods, and we're going to see some rebound in the population.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.